is going to the Final Four.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
This is Duck Insider.
We need to get community. We need this thing to be bigger than just our little circle of players and coaches.
Are you kidding me? Touchdown, Oregon.
With 2 seconds on the clock. He hits it!
That's the bigger picture in this thing, allowing the community to celebrate the hard work, blue-collar mentality this group brings to the table.
And the Ducks have won it. The Ducks have won.
We get to struggle together, and we get to have joy together.
The Ducks are Pac-12 champions.
I am so proud right now to be the head coach at Oregon.
Catch made. Touchdown, Oregon.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Better banking, local solutions. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Ducks athletics.
Oh, it's going to be a good day on a Friday. I'm, back in this chair. I got a big promotion yesterday, and Ryan hosted the show. It didn't last long. Now I'm back in the radio chair, accompanied by the voice of the Ducks, Jerry Allen. How about that yesterday?
You got a big promotion yesterday?
So,
I saw that.
So I got to tell everybody. So I took yesterday off. I was actually helping my mom and dad out at their house, and I was getting texts left and right in the morning from people like with the laughing emojis and all these things. And I finally just sat down and I looked at it and I went, CBSSports.com. Oregon's Joey McMurray is quarterback Bo Nix's fifth coordinator. I was like, what?
Where'd that come from?
I have no idea. Apparently, Dennis Dodd wrote the preview for CBS, and I sent it to you guys. Jerry, I had to, but I was getting this text from. I think I ended up getting it from like at least 10 different people, just like, oh hey, good. Nice promotion.
Can you talk about the contract and how much more money you're making now? I mean,
well, it's been terminated after that article, so that's why I'm back. Anyway, I don't know how it happened. It was funny.
That's crazy.
So I have multiple things to discuss as a result of this. By the way, welcome to Duck Insider. He's Jerry Allen. I'm Joey Mack. Ryan's directing the show today. We've got Fan Fest coming up, a number of Oregon football interviews. The first Duck football scrimmage of fall camp is tomorrow. We'll have a lot of info on that for you. But, hey, we're going to talk with Jerry about the Big Ten. We're going to talk with Jerry about the Pac-12. We're going to talk with you about a lot of things. So I hope have you eaten? You're hydrated? You're ready to go for an hour?
Actually did just eat, and I'm just kind of like nap time now. So if I drift off,
okay.
You'll understand why.
When people do you ever get this, that people are like, your voice, it's so soothing? And I hear that, and I'm like,
in other words, you're telling me I put you to sleep.
Yeah. So I say that if I'm a broadcaster, is that good?
Yes, that's good.
Like
easy
soothing.
to listen to. Easy to listen to.
I guess. But
soothing, easy to listen to. Not harsh, not sharp, but easy.
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, in any case, so here's my plan as the offensive coordinator, and this is why I'm back hosting. Okay.
Okay.
So I remember this was my first year doing any shows with you whatsoever. I learned a very important lesson from Jerry. I don't know if you remember this. This is why I texted you last night, that I had some things in store, so I wanted you to be mentally prepared. Okay?
I'll be ready to walk out.
All right. That's right. You should be. Okay, so one time we were talking about – I don't even remember how this came up. It was a very, me and my friends sitting around the living room when we were in college talking about trick plays. True story. So we're talking about – somehow it came up on the show. I asked, what would your favorite trick play be? And I'll never forget this. Jerry told me afterwards, he goes, if you start talking about trick plays and then the Ducks actually run a trick play one of these days, you don't want to go down that slippery road. And that I remembered that forever. Okay, I want you to know this. Okay. I remembered that forever because I thought, boy, the things that was like the ultimate lesson for me of the things that we see in practice sometimes don't end up in the quack minute because, well, they might end up on the field on Saturday and it's a competitive advantage to the Ducks, who obviously – you're listening to Duck Insider.
Right.
It's a competitive advantage for the Ducks when the opponent doesn't know that things like Charles Nelson's trick play from a few years ago is going to happen. Okay? Things like that. So I want to preface this because I think it's important before I say what I'm about to say. I jokingly have been terminated as Oregon's offensive coordinator because Will Stein is so much more qualified. I would have gone for it on fourth down every time. I never would have punted. The punting competition you heard about from Joe Lorg this week, they wouldn't have liked me very much. I would have gone 4 verticals every time. If you've ever played NCAA football from back in the day in Madden, that's all I would have done. And it would have just been home run shots down the field all the time. That's what people want, right?
So, in other words, you would have been Chip Kelly. Just
Kelly
about.
ran the ball, though.
Well, he ran the ball, but he went for it on 4th down. He didn't punt the ball. And
yeah, 100%.
They did some vertical
I
stuff.
would have played the game as if it was a video game. Is my
video
point.
game.
So I was
That's
talking
cool.
about this with a few fans on Twitter, and so anyway,
I love it.
But I prefaced that with none of this is happening. I don't know where it came from on CBS. I don't even. Did it get corrected, Ryan? Like, have you? No, it never.
You need to get a hold of Dennis
asked,
and ask us, hey, Dennis, how
I
does
met
it
Dennis once. Maybe I made an impression.
No,
I don't
great
know.
guy.
Yeah.
Great guy.
In any case, yeah, that was interesting yesterday.
Wow.
But
they jumped right over me. That just bothers me.
But because God, we're on the same page. So this is what I was just gonna say. I started thinking, okay, how would we actually do this? Because Jorgie was texting us as well, and I said, well, obviously we're hiring Mike Jorgensen as a special assistant to the offensive coordinator, and Jorgie actually has play calling duties.
But you know what he would say?
Yes.
Run the ball.
Yeah, run the ball. That is what he would say.
Yeah.
So I think, look, here's the way that here's the equivalent in the broadcast booth. Jerry Allen, head coach and quarterback, right?
Ooh, okay.
Hey, you're calling the plays.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Mike Jorgensen as the analyst. Well, Jorgie's your offensive line, and he's your receivers, and he's probably your offensive and defensive coordinator at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? And then there's me and Terry Johns, and I didn't decide what we would be. I couldn't come up with a fun
Waterboys.
equivalent. Yeah. I guess on the sideline, am I like special teams? I like that better.
Special.
Yeah.
No.
I'm probably special teams on the sideline. Terry, who's actually in the running the show in the booth. I think Terry's probably like your equipment manager. You know, he's like Kenny Farr to the broadcast crew.
It could be the operations manager.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. In any case, I had some fun with this, and I was wondering if you had any feedback after my half a day as the offensive coordinator.
Yes, that I didn't like your first game call. Things didn't go well, obviously. Or should I say first scrimmage?
First scrimmage.
Or actually, you never even got out of the locker room, so I
didn't
don't
even
know.
make it.
But it's interesting you talk about not talking about trick plays or anything that might come up. I mean, we joke about things and wish they do this, wish they do that, or maybe they'll do this. And then in the game they do. The biggest reason that fans are not in practices in college football now is this little thing right here. It's just, it's the phones. Because this goes back to, Mike Bellotti was the head coach, and Ducks were running a practice getting ready to go to Michigan State. And fans were allowed in, and they were running some special sets that they had not run before that they were going to throw on Michigan State. And somebody was there just taking pictures and went and put online, wow, look at Oregon's doing. Guys at Michigan State found that, and when Oregon went into those sets at the game, they went, yeah, we've seen this. And so that is one of the biggest reasons that fans are not allowed in, because you can't control these. And there's a lot of secrecy because let's be honest, there's a lot of money on the line. College football is a money sport, and you gotta protect who you are and your brand. So.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So anyway, 21-year-old me learned that lesson. And
that's funny.
That was 9 years ago.
Gosh.
Yeah, I still remember that. I thought, boy, that really summed up for me. Like, things can go wrong for people like us.
Yes.
And
careful what
look,
you say.
I say this all the time. Who signs my paycheck? That's what I care about. You don't bite the hand that feeds you.
No.
I
was told that when I was hired in 1987.
Really?
You don't want to be a homer, okay? You don't want to be a homer. Don't go over the top. Don't make excuses. Be as honest as you can. But remember, most of the people listening to you are Duck fans.
Right.
So be a Duck.
Yeah.
And you work for me, okay?
That's right.
Bill Byrne is one who told me, Bill hired me. You work for me.
Yeah.
And yes, sir, I do.
Yeah. It's easy for me, too, because it's my alma mater. Right. There's just a natural nostalgia. So with that point, so you probably have heard, I've been talking about this all week. Big Ten. This is the last year of the current iteration of the Pac-12, and I keep coming back to, I loved what President Schultz said in the press conference a week ago on Friday, that as humans we can express multiple emotions at the same time. That was my takeaway on Monday's show. I kept hitting that. I still feel that way. I'm going back and forth on, the nostalgia of the Pac-12, and I also, Rob and I were talking about this. I also am one that tries not to be afraid of change, as difficult as that is. All these things in mind throughout this entire week, I still feel a lot of nostalgia for the conference that I grew up watching and rooting for.
Yeah.
You know, so that's going to be hard for me this year, no doubt about it. But also the Big Ten, the landscape of college sports. I think that people like you and me, it's fair to say that we probably could have predicted this coming once or twice in the last however many years and months you want to say. But that being said, Jerry, I'm right now trying to express multiple emotions. I'm excited for the University of Oregon's future in the college sport landscape. I am sad about the Pac-12, and there's no other way that I can really put that.
That's real. I mean, you go back. I'm a Pac-8, Pac-10, Pac-12 guy. I mean, I go back to the '60s. In the memories and the history and the Rose Bowl and Jim Plunkett and O.J. Simpson. I mean, all those people, that's the history. Oregon and Washington and all that. But I will say this, and this is true, it's a little bit sad to think of it like this. In 15 years, most people are going to not remember this last week. They're not going to remember the history and the emotions of the Pac-12 because they'll be caught up in the new era. You go back to the 20s and 30s, Montana was in this conference. Idaho was in this conference.
That's true.
It's all changed, and it will continue to change. So you just kind of have to go with it, take the great memories, and move forward with the new memories that you're going to make. And that's the way I'm approaching this.
Me too, and there is going to be nostalgia for me this year, like a few road trips that won't make again for a while. I've been thinking about that a lot. And, Jerry, I think you'll take some humor from this, like a lot of my friends did. When everyone was asking me when Colorado left, what's your reaction? I was like, man, we don't have to play basketball there again.
Yes.
This is great. And then I was like, but also Boulder's a great place.
You miss it.
I will miss that. And it was similar with the LA schools, and now there will still be some trips to Seattle and the LA schools. So I don't know. There's a lot to unpack still, but I think if you look ahead to the future of college sports with the way that things are going, it is a resource race. And we've seen that throughout college sports. Think about the facilities here at the University of Oregon that lead to a great student-athlete experience. And we know that that's a huge tool for recruiting. The resources make that happen, and
they do. That's
the direction it's going.
I love what Rob Mullins had to say today as he talked to a lot of the athletic department staff when he said, we're still a Pac-10. Okay,
yeah.
Well, we're actually the Pac-12 still. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna play our games this year. We're going to travel to those venues. They're going to come to our place. We're going to make this the best possible year it can be for our fans, the visiting fans, visiting teams. We want to make a lot of memories this year in the best possible way. So I hope people will approach that and fans will approach that and cherish this year.
Agreed. Now, the really important thing is that there will forevermore be a reigning Pac-12 picks champion. Whoever wins picks this year, that's it. You're the champ.
Well, I never thought about that.
Yeah. If you win picks this year, you are forever the reigning Pac-12 picks champion of the broadcast crew.
Okay, if I do win, there better be a huge trophy. If I don't win, we don't need a trophy.
If you win, then you finally are even on dinner.
Oh. Okay, that's fair. I haven't paid up. I'm a little behind there.
It's so funny. Like, we all travel. So this has been a long-running joke on a Friday Duck Insider. We all travel together, so we end up spending a lot of time and meals together. So then when we're all back home together, when it's in the summer, it's like, yeah, we're on vacation. See ya.
You want to go out to dinner? Are you kidding me?
I think this might be the first weekend all summer that you, me, Georgie, and Terry are actually all in town the same weekend.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's the case.
Yeah, I bet that's real.
Yeah, so anyway, so it changes picks, Jerry.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we may have to change some of the rules, and then we'll get vote 2 out of 3.
Right.
Because I don't want to lose. Oh, man.
I'm just, so I made everyone probably has figured out by now that I have a picks spreadsheet. I keep track of it. I would assume more intensely than you guys did prior to me having a spreadsheet.
I still have sheets of paper. Yours are on a computer. Mine are in writing on a paper.
I've got it all the way back to 2014 when I started doing picks with you guys. So in any case, 2023, I made the spreadsheet, Jerry, and it just hit me like, I'm not
That's
going
the
to
last time.
I'm not going to be writing Florida at Utah on the pick spreadsheet. I'm going to be writing Northwestern at wherever.
So we're going to transition to a different conference, but still do picks.
That's what I'm thinking.
Oh yeah, we
think-
got to do that. We got to do that.
But now here's the other issue. The Big Ten is actually the Big 18.
Yeah. So we start our picks on Thursday and finish
That's what
on
I'm
Friday.
saying. Like, can we fit it
takes
all?
2 days to do.
Can we fit it all in a day?
No.
I mean, look, Jorgie's the one I'm worried about. Jorgie actually has a day job. We just are paid hobbyists. Like, Jorgie, I'm so sorry.
But Jorgie does his research. So,
He does.
So when he sits there, he doesn't just say, "Yeah, I'm going to go with USC." He gives you 3 paragraphs about why he's going with USC.
So are you like, serious question, are you like me where you kind of think about it throughout the week, but you really sit down and decide who you're going to pick on Friday morning?
Yes.
Okay, that's how I do it. I'm pretty sure that Jorgie spends all of Thursday doing research. I mean,
He's good at it.
He's very good. He's barely ever won in picks.
So maybe he's not very good at it. I mean,
you know,
I don't know.
Jorgie, I have to say, Jorgie did win last year. And he won at an impressive clip. He picked 80,
just hear that? I just heard him cheer.
He picked 82% of the games right.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's a very high
good.
percentage.
It's pretty good. After last year was a pretty good year. You won 2 years ago with 70% correct picks.
I thought that was excellent.
Yeah, in 2020, I don't know. That was such a weird year. This is true. I'm looking at it right now. We all picked 57.69% of the games right. All of us.
Were we all drinking or what?
I don't know.
That was
terrible. It
terrible.
was 2020. I've
blocked
blocked it out.
It was an era.
Yeah, there was a year that I won with 65% correct picks.
It's the highlight of the week. I mean, I shouldn't say that because Wednesday night we get to talk to Coach.
That's
really it's the highlight. But for the shows, I look forward to picks.
I do too. You won one year. Let's see. By one game, you were 0.2% better than me and Jorgie.
0.2%.
It's true. I'm looking at it.
It's worth a hamburger.
Yeah. So in any case, picks are fun.
I love it.
Preseason special coming up not next week, but the following week. That's going to be on a Tuesday at 7 o'clock. We'll do kind of the fall camp review as the Ducks. That weekend, actually, will transition to game prep. They transition out of their fall camp schedule and go into the game prep week. So that's on Tuesday, the 22nd. And then our regular coaches show is every Wednesday starting on the 30th. And Coach Lanning will be with us, a student-athlete as well. Looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Not that far away.
I know.
It's close.
It's wild. Yeah. It is close. All right, we're going to get a timeout. Long first segment. Jerry's going to hang out with us because I have a few more other things to cover, including Fan Fest and the dunk tank.
Oh.
Jerry, I don't think has been informed of this.
I'll be out of town, I'm sure.
Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
No.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by your local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Hey Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
You're listening to Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
I'm Chris Jakovic. I served in the United States Air Force and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is my job is people, everyone is my business. But unfortunately in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jakovic, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says.
Avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack and Jerry Allen in the Country Financial Studio. Oregon football practicing this afternoon following an off day yesterday. We got some interviews from the week coming up that we haven't gotten to yet here on the show, but also practice so far from the voice of the Ducks eyes. What have you seen at practice so far? You've been out there.
Yeah, it's so difficult. You know this. You see it. You try to figure out who's going to move up the chart, who the starter's going to be, what the depth chart's going to be. But I'll be honest with you, it's early in fall camp, and the coaches break it down. They look at the video, they look at the film every day, and they can tell you exactly what's going on, who's doing the right things, who's the wrong things. We can see a great catch here and there. We can see a ball that's dropped. We can see a pass that's too far. But to really say who I think are going to be Oregon starters across the board, what the depth is going to be, and who the starters are going to be is not fair, because I think some guys will show up that maybe are not showing up quite yet because they're still learning in the next 2 weeks. And we get to that last scrimmage. Then, Joe, I will feel more confident then in saying, okay, these are our key guys. These will give me the ones.
Yeah, it's interesting you say it that way because there is so much fluctuation, I feel like, early. And, Coach Lanning was talking about this week, that you've seen the back and forth of the offense to the defense, from day to day. That's normal in a fall camp. I still struggle with what a great play by the offense. Yeah.
Ugh.
And then I look at the defensive coaches and I'm like, what happened there?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Good, bad.
Right.
Two sides of the coin.
Yeah, and that's kind of what the first scrimmage is. But I ask you this every fall, Jerry. First scrimmage, where do your eyes go this year? What are you looking at?
I'm looking at two things. I'm looking at the offensive line. I want to see the rotation, how many guys play, the plays they make. Are they protecting the quarterback? Are we getting some holes for the running backs? So the offensive line. But I also want to see the growth in the defense. Year 2 for head coach Dan Lanning, and he's a defensive guy. And they've recruited extremely well. I want to see that front 7 and those edge guys and the back end. So the entire defense. I'll probably watch that more than anything and see if they are going to get pressure on the quarterback this year. They need more of that.
Yeah, I feel like the football's come down to win in the trenches, have to be able to run the ball, but you also on the defensive side have to be able to rush the quarterback.
Yeah.
And I feel like especially in this conference, that's going to be a big deal this year.
Oh,
I mean, you alluded
no
to
doubt.
that in the break. We were just talking about picks and how this year will be tough, and I think that's true because there are so many quarterbacks that can change a game in this conference this season.
Yeah, not only quarterbacks, but the receivers. The receiver group in the conference this year at Oregon is going to be spectacular. Obviously at USC. Washington's off the chart. So the offenses are going to have a chance to score points if the quarterback has time to find his receivers, go through his progressions. So the pressure from the defensive edges or maybe a blitz package is going to be really, really key to getting the quarterback out of his rhythm. And it's going to be tough to do this year. So I like Oregon's defense really, really well, but I just think we're going to see high-scoring games this year, in the conference in general.
I mean, I think that the rules in football now especially have become so offense-friendly.
Totally, no doubt.
I mean, I don't know. That's okay for me to say it like that, right? Like, I feel like they have, They've kind of moved in that direction with pass interference, whatever it might be, right? And so, yeah, I feel like in a scrimmage, too, you know what the first thing that I look at is in a scrimmage? Okay, that guy's number is that. Okay, now I know who he is. From the vantage point of the booth.
Yes.
I know that sounds like very inside the broadcast, but seriously, like, when I'm on the sideline, it's one thing. I can see their numbers immediately. For you guys up in the booth, sometimes it's tough to tell who's who until you really get to know them.
No, you really do. You look at their body styles, the way they run, and you just know areas of the field that you expect to see them. But to me, offenses will control college football and even the pros to some degree for a long time, because in the old days it was pretty easy to defend an offense. Hand the ball off, power run.
Interesting.
Right tackle, left tackle. I mean, defenses had it, I don't want to say easy, but it was muscle against muscle. My guys are bigger and tougher than yours. Try to run through us. Now the offense is spreading you out, and the defense can't do much more about it. The offense have changed so much. They've morphed into this wide open, guess what we're going to do with the ball. The defense is all they can do are spread out with you. They can disguise some things they do, but it's really important now for them to have skill position people at the corners. The linebackers could cover those wide receivers or tight ends going out on pass coverage. So they've got to find, I think, better athletes on defense than they used to have. Stronger, more muscular back in the day, but better athletes today.
Yeah, I agree.
Fun. I love this stuff.
Yeah, I'm excited to sit up there in the booth. And, you probably heard me this week, Jerry. I've been joking about how, like, really all I do is sit there and go, like, oh, yeah, that looked impressive. Jorgie?
Yeah.
I mean, that's – like, Jorgie will be like, yeah, but this and this and this. And I'm like, Jorgie, I was watching the ball.
Yeah, Jorgie sees the whole picture.
He does. It's amazing to talk with him.
Sees it from a view of a quarterback.
Yeah, and, that's why he's good at what he does.
Yeah, very good.
That's practice so far. Jerry will be with us to unpack a lot more. Okay, Dunk Tank. The Fan Fest is coming up. I should remind everybody. The Fan Fest is on Sunday.
Cool.
August 13th in the Mashofsky Center, 11 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Admission is free. Men's and women's basketball, volleyball, soccer, football, free parking, Mashofsky lot, Autzen East lot. Fans will have the opportunity to take photos. No food and drink, by the way, allowed in the Mashofsky Center. Available activities include a football passing station, a football receiving station, a football field goal kicking station, also some soccer penalty kicks, a dunk tank, a photo station, combine station, and some lawn games. That's all coming up on Sunday. More details if you missed it, goducks.com. Free. Family-friendly, come out to the Mashofsky Center for Fan Fest. I have multiple questions for the voice of the Ducks about this that we're going to ask him when we come back.
Oops.
It's a dunk tank-themed question.
Yeah, I can just imagine.
Back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Don't miss out on summer at Toyota's National Sales Event. It's the perfect time to squeeze out the last of summer with an exciting new Tacoma, Highlander, Camry, and more.
Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 5th.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Don't miss out on summer at Toyota's National Sales Event. It's the perfect time to squeeze out the last of summer with an exciting new Tacoma, Highlander, Camry, and more.
Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 5th.
This is Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Mario fue pintor más de 30 años. Cuando me dijo que se le estaban olvidando las cosas, fue difícil. Un día me dijeron que pintara el marco del lado por dentro y pinté el lado de afuera.
Yo le diría a la gente que le diga a su familia lo que está pasando con él.
Si algo se nota diferente, podría ser Alzheimer. Es momento de hablarlo. Visita alz.org/nuestras historias para saber más. Un mensaje de The Alzheimer's Association y The Ad Council.
Wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind, like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest. Uh-oh. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. To learn your risk, take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. I'm Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. He's Jerry Allen joining us. Okay, so we were talking about Fan Fest. I wanted to ask you this. You were a track star.
I wouldn't say star, but yes, I did run track and field.
I mean, look, documents are hairy in that.
I missed getting to the Olympics by that much.
And that much is relative.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so what would you be best at? the football passing station, Fan Day coming up Sunday, free admission, 11 a.m. to 12:30. What would you, Jerry Allen, be best at? The football passing station, the receiving station, field goal kicking, soccer penalty kicks, the dunk tank, maybe on the receiving end or the giving end of the dunk tank, photo station, the combine station, or lawn games. Lawn games is vague.
Woo.
Could be like cornhole, could be lawn darts, could be ladder golf. I don't know. It's vague.
And I'm pretty competitive at this. I was also a kicker. I was off the bench and never got to kick. So I'd say field goal kicking.
Field goal kicking.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I have to tell everybody.
Straight on, square toe.
But if basketball was included more in this Fan Fest, the backwards half court shot, no one is better than Jerry Allen.
I got that. I got that.
Like, I will forever say that's your game. So when we do Fan Fest in the winter,
okay,
I know what you'll pick.
I got that.
Okay, so you'd go field goal kicking.
Yeah.
All right.
What would you go?
I go lawn games. That's what I play the most these days. Once upon a time, probably the passing station.
I would have wide receiver.
Look, I've never taken a good photo, so I'm not going to pick that.
None of us have.
Right, face for radio.
Right.
Receiving, I didn't have the best hands, which was odd because I was a catcher in baseball, but in football, I didn't have the best hands.
If I hadn't had my hip done a couple of years ago, I would have gone receiver.
Really?
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, but now the dunk tank. Okay.
I'd throw.
You have a few choices here.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm throwing.
All right. Jerry, you get to pick. Like, you are guaranteed to bullseye this throw.
Okay.
Who's in the dunk tank for you when you throw?
I think anybody who knows how long I've worked with this guy and how much we challenge each other, I'm sorry, Jorgie, I'm going to get your ass wet, okay? It's just the way it is.
I really hope Jorgie's listening today.
Now, I hope I don't end up in the dunk tank and you're throwing that.
So here's the second question.
Okay.
Okay. Now, you're in the dunk tank.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if you've been told you're on the list to be in the dunk tank.
No, I have not.
Yeah, you're on the list on Sunday. But you're out of town.
I'm out of town. Yeah. I have a dentist appointment, too.
Ooh.
And I got surgery that day. So,
dentist appointment at 11?
Yeah.
Great. They'll have you out by 11:30.
Well, then I have to get my eyes lasered. And then my appendix has been, I've got, believe me, my body's not in good shape. Sunday, I got to take care of all these problems. So I'm sorry.
Okay. So he's out. Now, if you could.
Okay. If I could. Right.
So who do you, want throwing if they need to bullseye? Like, say you're just ridiculously hot. You need to get into the dunk tank. Who do you have the most faith in to hit the bullseye? That's question one.
So on the staff.
Whoever you want. Could be your wife.
She'd never hit bullseye. If she walked up in front of it with her hand, she would miss it. Okay. She's not athletic, but she knows it. She was a cheerleader. Okay. That doesn't mean all cheerleaders are not athletic. Now, don't be reading anything into this, okay? Who do I want?
Who do you have the utmost faith in to hit the bullseye?
I've never really played catch with him or watched him throw the ball, but he was a pitcher in college. And I think Terry Johns.
Yeah.
I like Terry.
I think Terry would nail it.
Oh, I think he would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that answer. Now, say you don't want to end up in the dunk tank.
Right.
Who's throwing the ball?
Well, my wife. Yeah.
Yeah, we answered that question already.
I know. I already.
Yeah. So I started thinking about all of this.
I don't want you involved in much of this because if you're throwing it and miss, you'll run up and push it. So I don't want you in there. Okay. That's not going to work.
I probably would.
And if you were in the tank and I was throwing, I'd be trying so hard to hit it that I would miss it. Yeah, so you're not in this.
You sounded so much like Tim Allen in Home Improvement right there. That really took a Home Improvement turn for me. That was great. Yeah, I think Terry would do it. My picks on the staff, if I'm like, he's got to nail it, it's Waz. I feel like Waz would absolutely drill it just to see me.
No doubt.
Just to see me in the dunk tank.
Yeah. You know what?
That's an obvious choice, I know.
He would look at you, and before he even threw the ball, you'd dunk yourself.
Probably.
You know it's
true.
coming. I'll just go down, Wash, because I know you're going to do it anyway.
Yeah. That's the easy
take a
one.
dose, right?
Yeah. So that's who I went with. You were on the dunk tank list, but you know.
Yeah,
it's too bad.
I got lots going on.
Yeah, out of town.
But I'll bring a towel just in case.
Smart. But yeah, scrimmage tomorrow. And I think that's going to be an exciting day. You know, this is when to go inside the broadcast, at least for me. This is when the broadcast board actually starts to take shape when they scrimmage a little, because you can kind of see what rotations look like. That's when this starts to get fun for me. I feel like it always kind of builds toward the first scrimmage when we're in camp. Yeah. I really enjoy when we get to this first camp.
Well, the first scrimmage, you get a chance to look and see, oh, yeah, that's right, he's back. Okay, we know he's back. We know he's going to be that first-line guy. He's going to be in that early rotation. So you start looking at the guy that's probably going to be number 2 along the offensive line, or that linebacker, whatever. You start to look for those guys that are trying to show up. I will say this, Joey. This year in fall camp, high energy.
Yeah.
They have really bought in to Coach Lanning and his program and what he wants and how he wants it. And that's why I really feel good about the defense. I think that's going to take a jump. But the energy has been spectacular.
Yeah. Well, and to come full circle, I mean, look, the nostalgia like we all talked about for this season, I mean, how big of a deal is it? I kind of joke in picks, right, that, like, whoever wins this year is going to be the reigning champion. But that's true on the football field, on the basketball court.
That's right.
You know, like, it'd be pretty special to win it this year, I think. You know, there's big goals ahead.
They're already competing against each other.
Yeah.
But now they're competing because they want to be the team that wins the last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little more on the line.
Looking forward to it.
Wow.
Hey, thanks for hanging out.
Yeah, it was fun. Appreciate it, man.
You know, enjoy that dentist appointment,
appendix,
eye doctor,
I got
appendix,
the whole thing.
thing
I'm
on
making my other
Sunday.
hip done on Sunday, too.
You're back on Monday.
Wow.
Yeah. Big weekend for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, scrimmage, though, ahead. We'll have practice reports, Quack Minute, and then a bunch of interviews on Monday's show. Coach Lanning talking with the media on Saturday. That's on the horizon for us. So anything else? What else should fans know?
Just it's going to be a great year. Have fun. Make it great. Make it great for everybody, for all the fans coming to visit, for all the teams. Just, make it great. Make some great memories in this final year of the Pac-12 that you can take forward, looking forward, and anxious and eager to move on to our next phase in life.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I'm also going to be looking back at good memories. I really, like I said, I really like what President Schultz said. You can express both feelings. That's how I'm going to be all year. When we go to a lot of these different places, I'm going to shake hands with a lot of people that I've worked with for a decade. At all these different institutions.
Crazy. And by the way, thanks again to Rob Mullins for the work that he did, and the president. But Rob, unbelievable hours through the last year trying to hold this thing together and making the right decision in the end.
Yeah, it's a resource race.
Yeah,
but I am going to miss this version of the West Coast and collegiate sports.
No doubt about it.
For sure.
All right.
Thanks, Jerry.
Yeah.
When we come back, soccer's in action today. They've got an exhibition going on against Idaho. We'll tell you a little bit about that. Some talk on the offensive line, too, from this week. Zeroing in on the trenches after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Don't miss out on summer at Toyota's National Sales Event. It's the perfect time to squeeze out the last of summer with an exciting new Tacoma, Highlander, Camry, and more.
Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 5th.
Hey, Duck fans, we're all about protecting our home turf here in Eugene. You should do the same for your home with Country Financial Insurance. Most home insurance doesn't account for inflation, but with Country Financial, yours can. If something happens to your home, make sure you can rebuild the same house in the same place. Call a local representative or 866-COUNTRY and get a solid defense for your home. Home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Casualty Insurance Company, or Country Preferred Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Property must meet age and condition requirements, which vary by state.
Don't miss out on summer at Toyota's National Sales Event. It's the perfect time to squeeze out the last of summer with an exciting new Tacoma, Highlander, Camry, and more.
Toyota, let's go places. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 5th.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Back on Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack with you in the Country Financial Studio. You know, I love – Jerry and I were actually just talking about this during the break. Like, this is going to be a hard year for me. It's going to be a hard year for Jerry. I mean, he's from the – as he was saying, Pac-8, Pac-10, Pac-12. You know, it's – the West Coast just isn't going to be the same. And I, for one, am a little broken up about that. You know, that's just me. But I do think that – to take the zoom out approach, it was the necessary step in the direction that college sports has been going. And, you know, I think we've all kind of observed that, but it's going to be tough, you know, for me, going to all of these different institutions that we won't make trips to regularly as often, you know, that is going to be different. And boy, I think over the course of this entire year, like for example, Jorgie hasn't come on the show yet since the news. I've talked to Jorgie about it, but I can imagine that's somebody like so many others who played in this conference, you know, and grew up in this conference. So, yeah, it's going to be different. And as I've digested it, and I think, and I've had conversations with some both on the air and off, it is though now the next step in the growth of college sports and what it all looks like, you know. But hey, I'll say this, you know, I'm more than happy to try to answer questions and comments and, you know, how about this? I mean, we're already looking ahead. Who is Oregon going to have for a QB in 2024? Bo is gone. Yeah, that's right. I will say, I think that Ty Thompson has he gave a great interview on Media Day. In fact, one of our interns, Gabe, who filmed the interview, was like, Joey, you have got to run this on Duck Insider. Like, Gabe thought that he did a great job, and Gabe was right. We did play Ty Thompson's interview from Media Day on the show, and Ty did a great job. I feel like he's really matured, and so, you know, who will it be? The competition next fall will tell you that, but yeah, I think that there's been some growth there. You know, we'll see. I'm looking forward to what happens with this roster moving forward too, because look, I keep track of the I keep track of all of the same things that you all do, and look around and do my best to have my finger on the pulse. And you know, let's just say that recruiting is a focus of this staff. And that's not going to change. So I look forward to what the future of the roster looks like. Now, with Bo Nix in mind, Oregon quarterback Bo Nix and running back Bucky Irving both landed on the preseason watch list for the Walter Camp Player of the Year award. That was announced today. Nix and Irving are among 45 total and 6 Pac-12 players named to the preseason watch list for the nation's 4th oldest individual college football accolade. Oregon, one of 9 schools with multiple players included. It's the 3rd preseason watch list for Nix. And there are some big ones for him. In addition to the Walter Camp, he's on the Maxwell Award watch list and the Davey O'Brien National Quarterback Award list. And Bucky Irving was also named to the Doak Walker Award watch list earlier this week. Ducks have a few offensive players that keep showing up on all of these watch lists, which is, I mean, that's where you want to be. I always think that watch list season, we kind of joke actually around here that it's like watch list season, right? There's always a watch list every day. And, you know, at the end of the day, what does a preseason watch list really mean? It's something for people like me to talk about. But it does mean that there are expectations because of the performances in the past. That's a good thing. If you're the Ducks, you want to have guys that have performed so well in the past that they end up on these preseason watch lists. Now, you really want to see him on those semifinalist lists come November. You want to see him as a finalist in December. That's when you know the season's been a real success. On that note, I think a big key to the success this season is a new-look offensive line, protecting Bo Nix. And Johnny Cornelius this week talked with the media. One of the transfers as an offensive tackle for the Ducks, I think that he's a linchpin. He's one of a few linchpins along the offensive line. I think he's got great potential. Johnny Cornelius, also a fun guy to listen to, as you'll hear when he talked with the media this week.
Started in spring, but obviously the process continues of, some new faces like yourself and some of the guys who had been here kind of just getting on the same page. Where do you feel like you guys are at now that you got a week or so of camp under your belt?
I'll say it again.
Where do you feel like you guys are at now that you have a week of camp under your belt in terms of just getting on the same page? Some of the newcomers, such as yourself, and then the guys who had been here.
Definitely. Like I said in the beginning, everybody just embraced us. So it's really just a matter of connection. That's a real emphasis on the team. It's connecting with each other and bonding. So every day I'm out here, I just try to be as close with my brothers as possible. But I feel like a real team.
Yeah, does it feel different now than it did, say, in April or May?
Obviously, just more time in with the guys, the chemistry increases.
How much does it help having a guy like Steven who's been here for forever?
Oh, tremendously. He's super dependable. He's going to hold everybody in the room accountable. And he's definitely, setting an example for the younger guys. And even the new guys, just letting us know the standard of the program.
Who have been some of your favorite defensive linemen to challenge and go up one-on-one against in pass rush?
Definitely Jordan Birch, Brandon Dolis, Mace Funa. They're always pushing us to get better. Like all the tackles, not just me. And I think it's a real good competition to have in practice, and we all benefit from it.
Speaking of competition, Coach Manning is making it sound like it's kind of back and forth. One day the defense level edge, one day the offense. Just how would you describe kind of the seesaw battle between the two sides right now?
Absolutely, it's football. Some days defense is going to have good plays. Some days offense is going to have good plays. But what's important is know how to respond. And that's what they're trying to emphasize to us is the response to the other team doing good. Even us doing good, coming back and doing it again. So offense, defense is definitely back and forth, but that's just natural. It's football.
What are your early impressions of Rashad and Junior and AD?
Rashad and Junior?
Play with him in spring, but you've seen him so far.
Like I said, the connection piece has been real big. So I've been getting to know those guys real well, and they're a pleasure to play with. They're both older guys, so they have a lot of knowledge of the game. Like I said, they're definitely buying in and setting an example for the younger guys too, along with me and Steve and everybody who came in at other positions. So they've completely bought in, and I love working with them.
Coming up a level like you have, how has that challenged you, just facing guys on a day-to-day basis that are maybe bigger and a little stronger than where you were before?
Absolutely. Honestly, I love it. Like I said before, this is exactly the reason why I made the move. And obviously, it's adaptation, just like it was in spring. And just keep on going and competing with these guys, and it's making me better. And I love it. Like I said, just embracing that competition.
What's been the emphasis, a week for you now, a week into camp? What's been the emphasis for the group, your position group?
For the position group, just refusing to fall short of the standard we've set as an O-line. So, whether that be just finishing or running to everywhere, just doing everything at 100 miles an hour and just being confident in everything we do. But staying true to our standard, I'd say. That's the emphasis. And not falling short of that, refusing to fall short of that.
What has George brought, given that he's behind you there at right tackle? What does he bring to the room? What is your other position?
George is a joy to have in the room. He's always energetic. He boosts the whole line every time, and he keeps getting better every day, and he pushes everybody in the room to get better. So I say his energy and his enthusiasm, it definitely motivates us as a room, and he's a talented guy, super talented.
What are those matchups with Dorless like? What makes him a tough matchup?
His speed, and he's a real swift dude. He's smooth with his movement, and he's also stock and compact. So you really can't underestimate him on any rep, no matter what it is. He changes direction quick, so you just got to be ready to move your feet with him. But really strong dude in terms of pass rush and run blocking.
He said he's the best trash talker on the team. Do you agree with that?
Dorless?
Yeah.
He can talk some trash, but he makes a statement physically too. Yeah, but a real good guy to be going against. I love it, like I said.
Everybody talking about the move to the Big Ten, talking about the travel, the distances, all that. For a guy like yourself, I don't think when you came out here, you're thinking family could just make a shorter trip to come watch it. It might be possible, depending when they play Rutgers and if you come back and stuff.
Yeah.
So what are your feelings about that when everybody's making a big deal about travel? And I'm not making it small, but like I say, for your family's talking about cross country to see home games. If you do play at Rutgers, it actually would be a very short trip.
Yeah, that's a good. I actually haven't given that move a big thought. Right now, I'm just trying to focus on being the best I can for this team and focus on this season right here in the Pac-12. Yeah.
At Media Day, some guys were talking about how Alik, since he wasn't a player that long ago, can actually get down and show you guys what you're supposed to do and do reps. How unique is that to have a coach that can do that?
Honestly, that's really good for me because I'm more of a visual learner. So having Alik there and him being able to run through his drills and show us how to do every little bit from the handwork to the feet work is actually really important for me. So I love that he's able to get down like that.
I think he's still got some gas in the tank. Could he get out there?
Coach Terry? For sure, yeah. He could put some work in now, still.
Has he had any highlights? I know, Wazoo's coach had a pick 6 during their practice. Has he done anything that got people excited?
He ain't do nothing yet, but I'm gonna be on the lookout. He might do something soon. You never know.
Josh Connerly, everybody talks about the athleticism. You're shaking your head. Are there things that stand out that he does just on the field as a big person?
Big person. Honestly, what stands out most to me is Josh's work ethic. Like everybody likes to talk about his athleticism and what he's naturally gifted with, but he's one of the hardest workers I know, and he's gonna not only is he talented, but he's gonna push to give himself the advantage. You know what I mean? Mm.
Good stuff from a Johnny Cornelius, one of many new faces on that offensive line, and I really do think that it's a group. It's so interesting on the offensive line. Think about the last 8 years of Duck football. You had that group of Throckmorton, Hansen, Lemieux, all these others. Sewell, thank you, Ryan. I mean, all these others, right? And then it was the Alex Forsyth, the Ryan Walks that have been here for a while, and it was almost like we had this change of guard of 3 to 4 year starters to another group of 3-4 year starters, and now maybe you're doing that again, right? With so many newer faces on this offensive line, it might be the beginning of another one of those eras along Oregon's offensive line, and I look forward to seeing what comes of this group, to be honest with you. When we come back, we're going to go through the weekend schedule. There's a lot going on, actually, with soccer and volleyball both starting up this weekend. Soccer right now, if you're live with us in the 1 o'clock hour. We're back after this on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by our local branch today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
At Shadow Hills Country Club, we're more than just an award-winning golf course and practice facility. Our events team offers all-inclusive event pricing that allows us to take care of all the details while you enjoy your event. Our indoor and outdoor venues offer you a wide variety of fully staffed options that put the focus on you. From weddings to business and social events, at Shadow Hills Country Club Events Center, you get the benefits of a resort atmosphere and amenities in a peaceful country setting, just minutes from downtown Eugene. Call for a tour today or visit shadowhillsevents.com.
Don't go anywhere. Duck Insider continues after these messages on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
Sometimes I just cannot believe all the storms we've gone through here. I can only hope that we'll be able to leave this house to you one day, baby. You're our legacy.
Planning for these disasters will make sure we're safe, and is the best way to protect that legacy.
Protect your legacy. Visit ready.gov/plan for the tools and tips you need to start your emergency preparedness plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Danica Patrick. Watching my nieces grow, play, and learn is amazing, but not every child gets to be carefree. 1 in 6 kids in the U.S. are hungry. This breaks my heart, and it's something that Feeding America is working to change. Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste and gives it to families in need. To help, visit feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
We're back inside the Country Financial Studio. It is Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union, proudly supporting University of Oregon athletics, over 522,000 members. OnPoint, people are the point. So this weekend, Oregon soccer, actually right now, they should be wrapping up their exhibition with Idaho. The Ducks, game day. It's the first one of the year. Today is the first game day of the 23 season, 23-24 season. Yeah, so they're scrimmaging, really. It's kind of a controlled exhibition with Idaho. We'll have Graham Abel actually on the show on Monday to debrief it, see what he thought. And then this weekend as well, if you're an Oregon volleyball season ticket holder, Matt Ulmer's squad is playing in a green and yellow scrimmage. So details given to season ticket holders. It's really an exclusive thing for season ticket holders. It used to be that we would open that up to everybody, and I liked that, but also season ticket holders for Duck volleyball, that's a cool thing. They get to do a chalk talk with Coach Ulmer this weekend, get to see the team in action, and this is the deepest team that Coach Ulmer has had maybe in his tenure at the U of O. They're able to do full 7-on-7s all the time now for Duck volleyball in practice, and as we were talking with Coach Ulmer earlier this week, they're healthy this season. Knock on wood. But they are healthy this season. Makes a big difference, doesn't it? So that's this weekend. Also, Oregon football. Scrimmaging, you'll see on the Go Ducks YouTube, we'll have Saturday evening, Dan Lanning. Have it on the Go Ducks YouTube Saturday evening. And those of you that watch and listen to the show regularly will also have it for you, of course, here on Duck Insider on Monday. Today after practice, running backs coach, Carlos Laughlin. So we'll have all that for you on Monday as well. How about that, though, that today is the start of the athletic season for Oregon athletics. Now, I know it's an exhibition, and then I know it's an inter-squad scrimmage coming up for Oregon volleyball this weekend, but it's here. Seasons are starting. And then Oregon football in a few weeks here before we know it. That's the weekend schedule. And when we come back on the show on Monday, there's going to be some Duck victories. Will it be green or yellow for Oregon volleyball? I don't know. And then a quick reminder, for volleyball, Matt Ulmer said this week that if the Ducks break their season ticket record, Duck volleyball season ticket record, Matt Ulmer will sing the national anthem on senior night. And I know that sounds like a joke, but I'm telling you, he's actually a really good singer. If you're on the fence, now's the time to jump into Duck volleyball. Have a good weekend, everybody. See you Monday.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next.